What's up, guys? It's Nick here from What's Good, and we're taking a look at Dead Island 2. The developers have put together this 15-minute or 14-minute extended gameplay video to show what the game's looking like. And is it me, or is this game looking better than I expected? We saw a little bit of trailers and a bit of gameplay in the past, but I wasn't so sold on it. And the first game was a bit of a letdown. It was just super buggy and not all that fun. But this actually looks pretty good. The graphics are nice, which is just one thing. But yeah, they show some stuff that's actually kind of cool. So things start here now. The characters, this character that they've got going here is like this Irish chick. There's these, you can actually pick different characters with different personalities and styles and everything to play with. So this one's quite a brawler, and she's got her funny sort of quips and stuff that go with it. And she's on her way now to Beverly Hills to get to a hotel for this mission. And yeah, I really like the environment's really cool.
Hitting stuff solves everything.
Each of our Slayers have different personalities, stats, and starting abilities. But thanks to our flexible skill system, you can personalize their fighting.
It looks like they're doing a really good job of capturing these environments, even just from what we know from the movies and you know, footage and stuff. So what's happening here is we're seeing already now there's environmental things and all this damage. Now, this is really cool. Check this out. Oof. Man, there's just this crazy gore system in this game where like there's flesh and there's bone and there's all muscle and all these things, and you saw from that little piece there that it looks really gnarly. Okay, here we see as well that there's sort of like these environmental sort of, you know, obstacles that can be used to your advantage as traps, and of course they can work against you in the wrong situation.
Are you still out there? Can you hear me? Blasted. Hello? Don't run away. We need to help each other.
For the gameplay video, it gets left behind. But that's obviously one of the ways that you're going to get things like side missions and things.
The road to Beverly Hills is just beyond that mansion.
Not one to pass up a shortcut.
Just coming back again to that crazy gore system, it looks pretty cool because it looks like it's going to make the damage and the visuals very dynamic because, oh, watch this. You smack these zombies and it isn't just like a preset animation, like pieces of them and chunks actually come off and rip out, and it looks so cool.
To fight though, our world is filled with tons of exciting weapons, each with their own unique and brutal fighting style.
By putting in variations of all of this type of damage, it actually looks like the zombies themselves have quite a big variety. I mean, if you look at them, it's not just now the male, female zombies, things like that, but by even just making these variants in what kind of sort of pre-existing damage they've got on them, it actually makes them quite unique, and I thought that's quite cool. Here's another nice gruesome execution. Oof, look at that. One thing that I saw here now, which is really cool, right? So he's come up to these zombies and he's busy dealing with them. But what I really like here, again, coming into this variety that we spoke of, I really like that there's this, you know, there's such a good variety in body types and zombie types. You've got different races of people. You've got different body types. You've got skinny people, sort of average sized people. You've got overweight people. It really sells way more of the zombie apocalypse idea. We're so used to just seeing this generic, regular-sized shuffling zombie that I really like this. I think to me, this captured my interest pretty quickly. Oh, we're going to take a look at the weapons a bit now. So, oh, look at this. Nice. The weapons get used not just for shooting, and you have to be careful with your ammo and things, but the weapons are also quite handy when it comes to setting things off. So you want to have weapons on hand to, for example, set something alight from a distance, because it looks like the melee combat's pretty robust, so it looks like it's pretty good. But I like the fact that the weapons The weapons look cool, but I don't know, maybe the styles with the different characters will be a bit different, but I do like the fact that the weapons feel a little bit more reserved. This now is cool. This is so cool. Instead of just your average weapons, you can now use these craft benches to create just the craziest variants as well. You know, that's what I'm seeing in this game, it's like some creativity and variety. A samurai sword with like flames built into it, an explosive hammer. Just absolutely crazy, cool, kick-ass, like Wolverine claws with that you've got shock damage built into. Ooh, Logan would be proud. It's cool. I'm quite surprised. This game wasn't that high up on my radar, but this gameplay video has changed that because I'm just really seeing some stuff I wasn't expecting. And look, I don't know how it's going to be in terms of polish, because that's always the problem. In the previous Dead Island, if there's anything that stuck with me from that game, it was how cool the trailer was, and then how terribly buggy it was when we finally played it. And this seems a lot more polished.
Do you have pizza?
Of course I do. Now let us in.
Yeah. Well, if I open this door, a whole load of zombies might rush in, and I'm pretty sure that's a bad thing.
Then why have you left the gate?
I definitely have pizza, let me in. And you need to actually get some equipment here to close the gate. This actually has quite a Far Cry vibe to it right now, doesn't it? Definitely gives off that Far Cry vibe with the way the camera work is in the first person.
Oh, killer. I'll hit the garage button. You bounce the party crashers and fix things up. And then, dude, mi casa is your casa. Hey, Roxy, we got company.
Those pants. Okay, so now heading on over now. Here we see a little bit more variety again. So, you know, this is kind of cool. You know, we saw beachgoers earlier, and now we're seeing military people. And then, of course, there's this big, what was it called? We'll see it now. It's like this brute type of thing. There we go, Crusher. So you got this big Crusher. It looks like your character's quite capable, though. I mean, look at his arms off. I wonder if that's standard or if that just happens, because I really like that with this damage system that they've got, I really like the fact that his jaw came off. I really like the fact that it's very sort of Dead Space in the way that you can actually target the limbs and then the limbs come off. There we go. Now putting that into this like circuit breaker. Ooh, another good one. Putting that in there now has allowed them to close the gate, and then by closing the gate and clearing this area, the guy might let you in or something like that. But a lot of cool stuff here, and swapping out to weapons that you can, you know, of course, using the fire katana, you can set dudes on fire. And again, you know, the zombies are becoming such a norm these days in video games. They're quite tired at this point, so you got to be creative in order to make it interesting. And I kind of like the pace that it's going with now. There's like a bait trap to get them. Very, very similar to something like the pipe bomb in Back 4 Blood, or you get similar things in pretty much all zombie games. I play quite a lot of zombie games because I have a weekly co-op group, and we played a hell of a lot of World War Z, which, if you haven't played World War Z, you should really check it out in its current form right now. That is a seriously underplayed, underrated game. It sort of started as a Left 4 Dead rip-off, you know, like to fill a gap that Left 4 Dead left behind, and it wasn't that great in the beginning, but it's really good now. And yeah, so between that and Zombie Army and Back 4 Blood and all that, I play quite a lot of zombie games these days, so it's easy to get tired of them, but I really like what I'm seeing here. I really like the variety and the environments and the pacing. I kind of like, you know, I don't know how you feel about things like this, but the one thing I haven't played recently, that came out recently, is Dying Light 2, and I only played a bit of Dying Light 1, but there's a sort of quicker pace there with the parkour and everything, which is really cool. But this works. I kind of like this. I like this level of, this pace of, you know, heavy melee combat focus, and then weapons as well. Okay, so here we come up to the Halperin Hotel. The character now again, ooh, I do like the cars. As a car fan, I must say, I'm quite a fan of these things. Now, here we have, okay, here's the part where they're showing cards, and these are cards that can modify the way your character and the way they play, and I don't like this. Like, this is one thing that put me off a little.
You can check out any
Especially after we just recently finished Back 4 Blood. We finished all of the acts that come with the base game, and the card thing just hasn't ever worked for me really in the game. I think the only game with a card system that I liked was the burner cards from the first Titanfall. But, you know, in Back 4 Blood as well, they just land up adding a whole bunch of unnecessary complexity, or I want to use the term faff, because you tend to just faff around with them. And I just, you know, I don't want that. I'd rather have unlockable skills or, you know, equipment and things. But, you know, putting these things on now is, you can see now this character's using these things to become or be even stronger. So, you know, these big cool ground pounds with shockwaves, and this hammer with its seriously explosive equipment attached on. And again, this is another great example of just how there's this variety that keeps things fresh. I just love the fact that one zombie arrives and their jaw is missing, and the other one's got like this one big chunk missing out of her cheek, and it's super gory and violent. But I mean, look at this one, it's like covered in blood, and yeah, I dig it. I just think if you're going to be smacking zombies the whole time, it helps to change the scenery as often as possible, so that you're actually, you know, you don't feel like you're just running through the same four zombies over and over again. And look, I don't know how the variety is going to be in the end, in terms of, you know, maybe after playing the game for a few hours, they all just look the same, or there's just a few variants of clothing and almost profession types, if I can put it that way. You know, we've seen police and military and stuff over and over, but again, I kind of like it. Some of these things look weird. They got like vampire heads, looking heads, like bald with whitish skin, and then again you come to these. Look at that nurse without an arm. I like it. So this part here now, the characters have some sort of rage mode that they can activate, and that we got to see a little bit of it there. It feels familiar though. I mean, doesn't a lot of this game feel familiar? It doesn't feel like you're playing something new. This feels like you've seen this before, but I really think that from the presentation levels so far, and from the little bits of creativity I've seen here and there, it's going to be enough to potentially keep it fresh enough to make it a fun experience. Head gone. So we're coming up to a section now where we're going to get an explanation about some of these more hectic variants, and we're going to see, you know, something more in lines of the special infected.
Beyond the dozens of grotesque variants in LA, Apex are...
You know, a lot of these things, again, are things we've seen before. You've got your big fat bloater that pukes on you, and a thing that screams, and you know, things with big pus bubbles on. These aren't new concepts. So it remains to be seen if the package as a whole keeps things fresh. Yeah, coming up to the end now of the gameplay presentation. There's something quite cool towards the end here. That's where we leave things. But yeah, so drop some comments under the video and let me know what you think about this. I think that this gameplay exhibition has actually changed my mind. I think I'm quite interested in this now. It looks kind of cool. Here comes Hulk, waiting smash. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty cool. So thanks for checking this out with me. Thanks for letting me talk through it. So leave a comment, let me know what you think. I'm Nick from What's Good. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. We'll see you soon.